making a new tier list, a community tier list time with a lot of really, really strong members from the JJK Discord, the Phantom Parade Discord. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm DBK'd. I'm a retro gamer from Japan. I do a lot of speedrunning, I do a lot of pro gaming, and now I'm a cursed gacha gamer. So I would like to introduce other really strong players and who are also cursed by the Jujutsu Kaisen spell. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself in order? So Fubuki-san, you want to take it off?
Hello. I like to spend money on this game. That's about it.
Got a whale. Good, we got the whale. So we see. I told you, all whales are welcome. And Fubuki-san is here.
I've been whaling a little bit.
No, whaling is important because we need to have the whales because that's the only way.
I've seen a lot of whales. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at.
Well, we were talking earlier. This game is very expensive, so I think it'll be actually extremely important to have someone like your opinion because you're gonna have more insight into. Hey, I'm spending all this money and I'm getting 0 results. While most of us are on free to play. Yeah, no, you should flex.
But I think right now it's definitely 1,000 or above for sure. I'm being serious.
Oh my gosh, the game has been out just a month now, so that's hasn't even been a month.
I think it's been a month.
It's been a month. It's been almost like a month and a day.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, and we're also. I'm going to tell you who else is here. I think we've got. Who wants to introduce themselves next? Ludi-san? Do you want to? Ludi-san? Ludi-san?
I'm the opposite. I'm the free-to-play god gamer.
I respect it. That's respect.
No dupes on my gojo. Still cleared everything.
Respect.
I play the game too much. I play
Nice.
gacha games too much.
Yeah, you always have very insightful opinions, so I'm happy that the timing worked out that you're here today. Free to play. I'm also free to play model. We've talked about this before. However, I'm a free to play person that's willing to whale. I will absolutely cross that bridge.
I totally came off as like. I always say like, oh yeah, free to play. By the way, like I hate that. I just said it because we have the whale.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we're joined by the God Reroller himself. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello. Yes, my name is Paradise. So, another free-to-play like DBK to Ludi, but all I do is reroll and try every character as much as possible and make different team comps.
Yeah, this guy is in the JJK Discord all the time, making accounts for other people. Constantly talking about how good or bad characters. So definitely the perfect person we need for the tier list. So I really do think I got lucky with who is available. I did reach out on the Discord to other admins. However, I think from now on I'm going to reach out to some godlike gamers. So if you want to participate next time, let me know, and I think we'll do like a little application process. Because I think there's people who might have inputs, but I think everyone here is very opinionated, which is good, and plays the game way too much, which is awesome. We don't want an
echo chamber. We don't want everyone like.
Yeah.
Even though it might be for a lot of stuff, but I feel like I think we'll agree on a lot. But I also think we're gonna have some different opinions.
Yes, and so
for sure.
I had my tier list last time. I'm gonna put the link in the video, and I'm also gonna put links to, if everyone wants to later, they can tell me what they want to advertise, like their YouTube channels. Be sure to follow them on their channels or whatever they're advertising. I'll put the links in the description, and I'll put a comment below where you can follow them. But we're gonna get started now, and I think I want to talk about Junpei-san first. Is everyone cool with that?
Fair. I think that's fair.
So previously, I put this A+ tier in here because I was like, there are certain characters that I think will see more use. And so the reasoning I had before is that Junpei has this ability that makes characters invincible, or makes himself invincible. But I was wondering, do we think that it's even really that good at this point? Where we feeling Junpei? I still want to put the maybe
Thing
the
is-
SR and A+, but I think the SSR, I don't see anybody using this.
I would say B, in my opinion.
For the SSR?
Yeah, for the
I
SSR.
think the problem is nobody really pulled for him, so we don't really have a good grasp on what he can do.
Mhm.
And
100%.
with how the game is right now, like his kind of play style just isn't what the content's built around, where he's more like surviving and like doing damage over time with like poison, right? I'm pretty sure he does all that.
Yeah, so for Junpei, he does dot damage in the SSR. It's supposed to be very good, and I have a friend whose account who we meet weekly, and then we're talking every day about it because he's a whale as well.
Respect.
So he pulled, and he just doesn't use this character at all. Yeah, poison dot damage. I think in theory it's nice, and he does have the invincibility skill,
Yeah.
which is
I could definitely see a reality where he becomes very useful in the future.
Hmm.
that's why I had him in A+ before, but
But I'd agree with B for now. But I could easily see him being A+ in the future, where like what he does is like necessary because he's like the best at doing that kind of thing that only he does.
the reason I'm just undecided is because making yourself invincible, especially when you're comparing, and I didn't talk about this a lot, but I think we're all comparing like the end game content, like the maximum area
Yeah.
survey, and then the extreme battles, the extreme 2 battles in the strong enemy encounter. And being able to make yourself invincible for a turn is kind of OP for lasting for 2 attacks.
I could
It's
see
tough to say.
I could see like a potential strat where like you use him with like a taunt memory to like survive a turn to then set up a nuke. Like maybe A, I agree with if you want.
That's
to do
fair.
A. Yeah.
But I just think his poison is kind of useless in a way, like it really doesn't do that much damage. I mean, I haven't tested him like that,
hmm
but
The
I
dots-
just feel like
the
his
dot
poison
is
isn't
so
gonna
weak
be crazy.
in
Yeah.
in SR. Maybe Pyro-san, what are you feeling on Junpei-san?
Yeah, no. So after hearing all what you guys said, it's all valid points. Have with invisibility, poison. Again, like right now with our current content and the way we're clearing things, we do not need a tanker and a poisoner right now because it doesn't match with anything we're using as of right now. And maybe down the line where we have to do a high scoring event, then we may need a tanker like Junpei to shines. But until then, we don't really use him.
I think so. I think we're all in the same. I think
Yeah.
B right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's-
want to put maybe use necessary, but where the game is going, being a tanker is not a good thing actually, because all of this game right now, the meta is debuffing and buffing, and so
Yep.
if you're buffing poison dots, you're already doing less damage, because this game is kind of about, I mean, I could be wrong, but really doing those explosive turns.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those. It's going to be an interesting game because I really feel like this is one of those games where you're going to be like, oh, I made like a 1 kill group. I made a 2-turn kill group. Oh, my group kills on 6 turns. My 6th turn is crazy, but he doesn't really fit in anywhere. I thought, which is funny because making yourself invincible on paper is OP, but
Yeah. Like I don't want to like
I mean-
obviously like. Okay, you go ahead.
Sorry. I just think the problem is even making yourself invincible, like what does that really do? I feel like if you I just don't even see any chance in the future where Junpei is a must run where you need him to go invincible. Because
Yeah.
if you need to go invincible, I just feel like all the other units are gonna die. Like I don't know.
It depends. And also,
And it's
do we know
poison.
if big domains ignore it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like I'm not sure if domains ignore it because that's going to be another big thing as well.
Yeah.
Because I'd assume like a lot of the harder content are going to have domain enemies.
maybe we'll say because yellow has rail. Maybe I'd be willing to bump the SSR up to A.
I don't think I'd put him in the same tier as like his SR. Like
I wanted to put SR higher, but after really trying to make this character useful, he's soft. He just hits like a wet noodle when he does his little attack. I mean, it's it really isn't good. Even at and I have him at max level right now, so I just
Wow.
Quickly as well, are we ordering it within tiers as well? Like from left to right?
we are, yeah. It is
Yeah.
left
Yeah,
to
okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say do A now and then see like where kind of everyone else falls. And you can see,
I can agree with A, but I just think for right now, me specifically, I mean, A or B is fine, but I think B, just for right now,
For right now.
is fair for both Junpeis, just because A is kind of pretty strong, and I just feel like Junpei isn't there right now.
The only reason I'll vouch for A is that if for some reason there's a path that that yellow is the weakness, then he is the SSR is a little bit strong to get
That's
through
fair.
it. So he can actually like clear it. B, maybe he is B though.
It's definitely...
How about A and we'll kind of
We got to come back. This is the one that I think
Yeah,
shifted
we'll come
down
back,
the
we'll go
most
back.
because
this
I.
is definitely
All right, so
Ooh,
now we have Toge-san. So
okay.
I actually
My
think
specialty.
Toge SSR is really good. I've actually increased my
sir.
opinion on Toge-san because he can stop one attacker from one time only, but he can stop someone from hitting him, which is unbelievable. He does
I think it's,
really good break
it stops-
damage. So
it stops a death hit, doesn't it?
It does.
Sure.
I think it's any hit once, but I'm not sure if it's a death hit. But in
I
the
think it's
extreme battles, it saved my ass many times.
Are we doing SSR first, or are we gonna?
Yeah, because I think we can do the SR. I think everyone's going to opinion. I think that the rare
I
toge
think-
is A plus because it's a special
I think-
ability, and then I think the
Yeah.
SRs, like I didn't even pull for it because I
I
have
heard
him.
he's good. I heard he's good.
Yeah, I have him. I can give my opinion on that one.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I think for SR Toge, he definitely belongs in A tier just because of how hard his AoE actually hits if you level it up, and the team comps that you can run with him. I mean, I've seen it. He does like 50k crits on his AoEs, which is definitely stronger than Maki. I'm just saying on her crits, and I have Maki maxed, 5 dupe, level 91. But I think SR Toge definitely belongs in A, because he really isn't bad. I just feel like a lot of people didn't pull for him and didn't use him.
I think his stats
That's
are
why,
good.
he's
He
I have his
hits
stats
harder.
are pretty good.
I have him. I just haven't built him.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd agree with A. Like he looked good on paper, but I just haven't used him. But if you're saying
Mm-hmm.
he does pretty good damage,
Yeah. Well, we can do those two right away. So yeah, I'll put if everyone's cool with A, I'll put
Yep.
SR Toge on A. I think that's. I'd even put him above Junpei.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I think everyone's on the same like the R Toge. I said this in the last tier list. R Toge's one specialty is just stunning.
Yeah.
It's
Like he's literally the definition of A plus, like a special ability.
Yeah.
Like that is like
damage is
Also,
horrible.
another thing.
Stats aren't that great. Oh, what's up?
His defense buff does give alt charge if you set it up properly, so that could really clutch it up.
Okay.
So
He's got-
I definitely think he's up there, because I don't think stun will be like entirely useless in the future. I think stun is always going to be like that,
Stun isn't going
and
anywhere.
especially with his defense buff that gives alt charge, I think it's super useful.
I think Toge's sans. I forgot to bring up my my little notepad this time, but I think it's 70%.
70%.
If
I've
I
got it-
remember.
I've got it at level. I've got it really high, and it's like 104. It's almost 100. I think it maxes at like 150% his stun.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I can pretty consistently get 4 turns, sometimes 5, sometimes 6 on Joko Extreme 2.
Oof.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, let's. Is everyone cool with A plus? I think he's not going anywhere. I think
I'm
he's
cool with it.
always. I think
cool.
stun teams are going to be a real thing in the future, especially if we get like a really hard boss. Rolling. It's always a % chance, but especially if you max up the stun skill, you're almost guaranteed. If you're running 2 stun characters, you're almost guaranteed to get a stun essentially. So I think everyone's on agreement. So the
Yeah.
SSR though, I don't know what to do. I use this character all the
S.
time. I think it's
Yeah,
S.
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 Yeah.
S.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy is very under. Like I feel like people are starting to come around to him now, but like he's great for auto, which I know like the JJK
Mhm.
community love.
Mm-hmm.
his defense like shred is really good. He does good break damage. He actually has pretty good damage himself. He can heal himself. Like you said, he has the stopping the death hit or whatever it was. I think he's really good. And
Yeah,
I think
he is good.
I think yellow as a type right now is lacking the most.
Agreed.
Other than like Nobara and him. So I think having like a really good unit like him is like very valuable.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Another
He
thing
can
about
heal-
SSR Toge, sorry, Pyro. Okay.
He can heal himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have that was it 10-20% chance to heal at the start of return. I think it's just like for 10%, which is really good. Yeah, it's 20. I think it's. Let me see if I have it up here.
He's got his skill as well.
Look at that. They have it SS.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I think.
I guess they rated off of auto, but you know.
He's definitely one of the best auto units.
Yeah, I don't generally look at auto. I think auto is kind of bad in the game, but
Yeah.
yeah, his ability. So he's a 20% chance to heal 10% of its HP, which is that's a nice little extra thing there. So
I found him very good for the what's the I don't know the names of the events. The one where you
Which
fight
one?
like the 5 waves, and you have to like. change
Oh,
your
the
team
school
each time.
one. The
the
Wait, what you-
Fukuoka school.
Yeah. Where you have to do that. Like I found him
yeah.
very good for that because just like with Nobara and stuff, like just stopping that death hit, just saving that one unit for maybe the next stage. Like I think he's very good for that.
Let's be real here too. He really doesn't take that much damage. Like I for the hundreds of times I've used him, I don't think he's ever been the reason I lose, or he doesn't even lose entirely. Like he just keeps healing.
I wouldn't be afraid of the. I actually think his skill 3 is useless. If I had to like knock him off for one thing, I never heal with him
Yeah.
because
fair.
I'd rather roll on the chance to heal, or I mean, I just look at it as like a little bit of a minus point that he does like damage to himself. But overall, I mean, if you're dying from damage that you deal from yourself, you probably need to think about your team.
I don't think he can.
composition.
I don't think he can die. I think he just goes down to 1. I don't think he can die from his own damage.
No, he cannot. You can only go to 1. In fact, that part's good, but I've actually with the SSR I've never even had that happen. Usually, if he's down that low, it's just he'll either be getting hit next or first. But yeah, I think S is good. I agree. I think we all agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
On Toge being S. So Panda. Oh, Panda. How you have first off, there were some people in the Discord. When I talk about tier list does not matter who you think is the coolest character. I think Mechamaru and Panda are drip. They're so cool. They got so much swagger. But this guy just let me down. I mean, he's just soft, and we don't need. He's not even like a great tanker. I've talked about this. Like if you pull him, I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I being too hard on the Panda?
No, you're being fair.
See, yeah, I've never used him. I've never seen anyone use him. Like, I don't know.
You again, like with our meta, right? You're just defining how the game is going, how they set it up. This guy has no place in the fucking game right now, man. He doesn't do anything for the team in terms of buffing, and all he could do is like taunt and take hits. But you can make him gimmicky in some places where he could take in 2 fatal hits before he goes down with the memory.
I would say B for that reason. Me personally.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's completely useless, but I do think he may be completely useless in 2 months
Most
time.
fights. Oh yeah, for
especially if we get like the reason I'm putting him in B is because he's a powerful green, and green is also maybe the other set that we're lacking for types.
Oh, for sure.
So because that he fills the green role, but yeah, I think we all agree the meta being a tanker is not helpful. You're just wasting a turn, really.
Yeah.
We
We could just throw R Panda and C. Like.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
he's trash.
Garbage. I've talked enough about how I think it's one of the worst R's.
I think it's the SR one. I actually think it's better than the SSR.
I'm
Yeah.
putting him in A, me personally, for the amount of
he
times
has
I've used
the
him.
debuff, right? Yeah, he has like the
Yeah,
type
he does.
damage.
And he's
increase.
he's a good auto for the event right now. So that's kind
Okay.
of biased just because
Do we think the end of A is nice? Because I do think
Yeah.
that Blue now we have, and we're gonna get to it later. But Blue now has like a really Blue base is really really strong.
And also, Taijutsu is just not that good right now.
Yeah. I don't think that's another thing I was talking about too. I don't think that there's too many enemies that are weak to Taijutsu. Looking at the character stats, there's no one that has 0 Taijutsu, so zero physical weakness. Everyone pretty much has there are characters that have 0 curse energy, therefore have 0 curse energy weakness. But yeah, I agree. I'd say this character. That's fair. His stats are also decent. Okay.
I've used him a few times. I've used him for some stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yuki, and so this is where it's been an interesting change because I put Yuki very high on my previous tier list. In fact, I had him previously at as S for the SR, and then A+ for the R version. However, I think that my opinion has shifted overall as I've seen more people use the R version for the battery, and I wanted to hear everyone's opinions. Is R better than SR? Where are we putting these characters?
R, I think, is good, and I think it's amazing if you have Geto, which we'll get to Geto.
I am saying the SR is better.
I can see an argument, but for both, I think SR brings a lot of valuable things, such as his like AoE shield. I think it's Jujutsu damage reduction he gives, right?
Yes,
He's
he
basically
gives damage reduction. He can make a character invincible for
He can stun as well.
3 turns. He can stun.
Yeah, he can stun. Yeah.
The R can do battery and can also. I think that's it, right? And
no,
then
so the R
defense.
has a battery, and his ult has a massive Jujutsu damage.
Yeah, that one.
Damage
The
buff,
super.
I think they're both A+.
I do too.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's funny because this game he talks about the Fukuoka High it introduced himself to Yuji-san as a supporter type, and I think he actually fulfills that in this game. He really is the supporter character.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyone have any objection to putting them at the top of A+?
I think Toge is above them,
Okay.
but I think I'd put R above SR in my opinion,
Ooh, interesting.
because I've used R for like EX2 stages. I haven't used SR for EX2 stages.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like when I watch a lot of the JP players and the European NA players, everyone seems to be using the R version more because the battery is just too good to ignore. So
Also, as well, I just think we're not in a highly defensive meta. Like we're definitely in an attack meta for sure. So I mean, once the defense meta rolls around, he's definitely going to be maybe a must run, depending on how many other defensive support characters we get.
I was trying SR and Jogo to try and outlive the domain, which you can kind of do. It's like very RNG on who gets hit. So like, and then like I said, it's just better just stunning with Toge, right? Yeah. So it's just like I just don't. I think he's got some very good potential, and obviously he does very unique stuff. So I do think he should be.
Yeah,
A+.
I agree. I think I agree.
Just below the R.
okay. Rin-chan. So I've shifted on Rin-chan. I think that the SR and R are both garbage. I think they're both completely useless.
Hold up. I'm putting her at A.
Whoa! The SR? Can we?
Yes.
Well, the R is garbage, though, right? Can we at least agree on
R
that?
Completely trash.
Okay. Okay.
But
Any objections on R, real quick?
Nah, it's just yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're putting her at A? Whoa!
Yes.
What changed your mind? The buff? Because she can.
I recently maxed her out, and her abilities are pretty high, and she is basically a mini Yuji, where she can just spam ult, which can be useful, and I don't really think she's that weak.
I guess you could bring it back to the whole like orange or yellow, whatever, being like having less options, so she could see some use.
I think she's B. I've used her because I thought she was really good at the beginning. I was on the same page as you where I thought, oh, she's hitting hard, but I've kind of cooled on her a bit. I don't
I can see it.
really see too much use for her. I don't know. Where's Pyro-san or let us know?
For me, she acts more like she doesn't do that amazing of a damage, and she could take somewhat hits. As like Fubuki said, a mini Yuji. For me, I guess her overall kit compared to the other units, it doesn't make me want to work on her unless it's a pure.
I
You
agree.
have to make like a full yellow stage. Oh, then I'll pump her out. But outside of that, I would not.
Yeah, because her buff
I do agree on that.
her buff only gives her energy, curse energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I agree with B.
Yeah, I think B's fair.
It might change in the future. I think if there's some way to really buff up her curse energy and she's just every other turn has super.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think she kind of hits soft because you compare her to Yuji, but Yuji's
Definitely
stats
not damage wise.
are
Definitely not.
pretty, even though they're different types. Even on like resist types for Yuji, he's doing more damage than her.
Oh,
So
100%.
I would say like even below Panda, if that's fair.
Yeah, I think in the middle there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I know. Our girl is cool. She's got attitude,
I like
but
her. Yeah, exactly.
she's just
cool.
unfortunately
She is like female Yuji, you know, left, right, good
Yeah.
night, just punchy. I like it.
I mean, yeah, Fukuoka's got to do a little bit better. I don't know what to say. Hopefully we'll get
We'll
maybe
get SSRs.
SSR. Yeah,
We'll
that'd
get
be cool. Everyone's favorite.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually think A plus, honestly. Hot take A plus.
Crazy.
I think he is a definition A plus. He has a possible
Kiyotaka is
necessary-
A plus.
Bro,
You think so?
possibly necessary. He does what is it, alt regen. He does some jujutsu buffs. Like I'm not saying that. I'm saying he could be. Possibly
In the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you really
I
think
guess,
that?
like,
Because I think his
I
buffs
guess
are
I
all
can't
like
put
a
him-
lower percent than everyone.
I guess I can't put him there now because like look at like toge being so useful. But I don't think he's completely useless.
He's got
Yeah, I
24.3
think B.
as his default up. He's not completely useless, but yeah, then he can damage down. I could see him being like if you have like a super debuff team or a super buff team, I could see him going somewhere.
Yeah. And I know his alt regens of his ults.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're right.
B.
I think
B.
B. I think he's completely useless.
That's a fair take.
Plus the man came dressed, you know. He's
The day that we get the debuff meta, where the more debuff you can stack, the more damage the guy will do, then he'll come in handy.
I think so, yeah. Shoko Sensei. So,
Ugh.
all right. This is a hard one for me. Because
B
I
for
talked
me, for
about
sure.
how good healing was, and I still think healing is really good because there's no other healing. The problem is that if you're
She doesn't do it
healing,
enough.
you're not having a buffer or debuffer. So in the current meta, and it might change, if they add a whole team of healers that somehow can also buff themselves and we get more like buffing equipment, then yeah, but right now she just isn't really doing much on the team. Like I have like I don't know if everyone makes this, but like you make your like a couple best teams or like
Yep.
team compositions, and I took her off all of mine. So I have her at level 91, fully grayed out. I have all my characters pretty much at that point. And I really, really hyped her up. This is probably the biggest change for me. I think she's just A.
I think
I'm
she's
putting her
A.
B.
I'm saying A purely on the fact that she's the only healer
Mm-hmm.
that's like a dedicated healer, right? Like we have our units that can heal, but
I mean, she might be A plus because of that, because she's special, but I really think if you level
I
up
just,
2 buff characters or 2
yeah, you're just gonna
debuff
use
characters, it's going to do, if you're new to this game, if you're starting out like what should I pull, it's so much more effective to have 2 of those people on your team than 1 of her.
Wait, hold up. She's only doing what, 2 to 3k per heal? Like, on all
You can
allies?
get her like 4k. Oh, if her
4K.
super, she'll fully heal. So her super does fully heal. Which is kind of crazy. But you also have to put, she doesn't get enough energy on her own, so she has a little bit of a slow energy build.
Yeah.
I'm on A.
I have her
for
max, but I've never used her, so I can't really give a good impact.
I think bottom of A.
Bottom of
Yeah,
A.
when I was using Shoko, right? Sorry. What I did with her, I do agree with you guys. Like A, B, like she doesn't go above that, man. Because but her crit resist helps, not a whole lot, does help. Along with if you put other buffs to your unit that has increased crit rate, you know, and the healing, and you can do something like this, like a little trick, right? You know that SR memory that would strip away your health for more ult gauge?
I know what you're talking about.
That's the
I
one
forgot the name,
on
but
her.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one I use on her. So she can just like rips her health for more ult regen, so she can get to her ult faster, so she can provide better heals to everyone.
Mm-hmm. I think
Or
so.
you could run an
That's
AoE
interesting.
SSR heals.
I'd put her a little bit higher on A. I wouldn't put her at the bottom of A. I'd put her at the top of A, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think A's fair.
He sounds fair.
Yeah, okay, I'm good.
Okay. Because we don't know, she's the only healer. It's still weird. She might ever only be the only healer. I think there's like one other guy. This is just foresight, and maybe, but there's only one other person in the JJK universe that we know can heal people right now.
Yeah.
It's her, and you guys know. I'm not going to do spoilers, but in the current season 2, there's someone that can heal people. But outside of that, we don't see it. So there might ever only be 2 healers. And in this game, you cannot use 2 of the same character. So if they ever do release an SSR Shoko, you can't have Shoko, 2 Shokos in the team. And so therefore, I don't. Yeah, if that starts happening, if you have like a team that can just heal themselves and just whittle down the opponent, then I think the meta would change.
5 gojos.
Thank you for this piece of fighting history.
So yeah, I'm agreeing with A, and I apologize. I was just very hype because it was early on, and I was like, oh, I can get through a lot of early content because I heal, and you can do that. But I think on the extreme content, I think when you compare it to the late game stuff, she's not that good. You're not going to use her.
Yeah.
All right, let's come.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt. This
Oh.
has to be personal.
I have also cooled on this character.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Sensei-chan. The Sensei. So, I think Maki is A plus.
Okay.
A plus maybe.
Okay.
Maybe S, because the thing is, I still use her on my teams. She just is a.
I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead. I don't want to say any more hurtful
I'm thinking
words.
she goes next to Panda.
Oh.
Ooh, you did it.
Oh, even with the being able to attack all enemies?
Yeah, I don't think
did
she's like I just don't think she's that good. It's like
Oh.
I don't know, like when you're using her, like especially over like some of the other red characters we have. Like you want to talk about a red character who can hit all enemies? We have literally the other 2. I think Hanami's AoE, right? I don't know.
It's true. Now we have it, but
Yeah.
is she going to become... Do you think she'll just become completely useless?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think... I'm still leaning... damn, you put her below
I agree with your
Panda.
A plus or A. I agree with your A plus. Or an A.
The highest I would go is like next to SR Panda in A. That's like the highest I would be okay with putting her.
I'd put her below Shoko and above Toge. I think she does more damage than SR Toge, and I think she has more use. I still think being able to hit all enemies is an important thing, but she doesn't do any buffing and she doesn't do any debuffing. She has like 1 debuff attack. that for some reason gets used all the time on auto. Yeah, it's just taijutsu down.
Yeah,
She
no,
just says,
I-
I don't even think, which is also isn't important, making the character have less taijutsu. You know what?
I'd say A for sure. I think A.
I think
That's
A
just
too. I think I'm cool. Even when I'm reading
As
out.
of right now, we don't have enough taijutsu supporters. Everything's going down to the jujutsu guys, so maybe she'll come in useful. Maybe
a big problem with Maki as well, unlike a lot of other taijutsu users, she can't black flash, and I think that's a massive drawback.
Oh, this is true. That is right. She
Yeah.
cannot black flash.
Yep.
You know what? I think you're right. I think she might be.
Bottom of it.
I think she's above. I think she's above everyone in A right now.
I can't put her at the bottom of it because she still does more damage.
Yeah, that's I would agree with that.
I think she's at front.
Just stat wise, she's a good.
I guess
she's
I
a good
guess
stat.
you
She's
could
good
use the
DPS
argument,
right
like,
now. I'm
use the
using her.
argument.
I mean, you're.
you would use her over the others. Probably,
Are you?
so
Wait, let me ask you. Are you using her ever?
mine's level
Who,
1.
Maki?
Level 1.
My
Okay.
Maki's maxed dupe, maxed out.
This man put her in the dumpster. He's a whale, and he said, "No, you don't.
She's
You're not
A.
even."
I like her. She's A.
No, I know.
I use her all the time.
is funny.
She's great.
I,
I think she's great.
I'm gonna put her in the top of A for right now.
Yeah.
I
But
like
it is A is a very wobbly tier right now,
Yeah,
and I
it is.
think that's good. I think that's why I'm glad at A, because A can go in the next update. Everyone could either go down or up. I think these characters could be phased out eventually.
Oh, they will.
And the S, and I think R is
Completely useless.
completely useless at this point. I
Yeah.
think SR is B. Oh, I like it. We all say a B. Okay, I'd say like not better than Junpei, but it has its uses right now.
Yeah.
Again,
It's a
can
free
attack
unit
all.
you can get.
Free unit, can attack all
Yeah,
enemies, does damage.
She hits
Okay.
pretty hard on break.
This one is going to be controversial for sure.
Yeah, I don't. Nobara is still SS for me.
Yeah, she's SS.
She's S for
Yeah.
me.
SS, bro.
She's not SS in my opinion.
Slap.
Okay.
I see the vision.
She's
So-
SS purely because she's by far like the hardest nuking orange, and she does hit very hard.
Single damage. She still hits the hardest. Her math, the math in this game for her super is broken. I did the little percentage last time. It doesn't make any sense the way it calculates it. So she just comes there. She has super. Boom. You're broken. You do a lot of damage, and now we know the buff meta, the debuff meta. She does even more against a single target.
The only reason I put her in S is just because I feel like Gojo, even if you're going up like boss that Nobara has type advantage over, Gojo can still just do a better job.
But you gotta remember, a lot of the bosses that are weak to orange are resistant to blue.
Good point.
She's the
And-
best yellow. And single target, she still does more. Even resistant. Resistant for
target-
her doesn't even matter.
Also, you can make a single target, you can make her AoE,
Mhm.
she can black flash on her ult.
She's diverse. You can say that.
Yeah, she's
Does a
diverse.
I guess SS. I don't really use her that much. That's why I put her in S.
I think she's SS.
I think she's SS because when you're talking about the hardest content in any mode, and I don't know about you guys, but even for story mode, when I was running this game, I had Gojo maxed out, and he couldn't even get me through that. But she came in there, finger snapped, and the content was gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, I think she's insane.
I didn't pull Nobara until after the story. I was like 100k gems deep, and I still didn't have her.
I think she's too good to ignore. Just
She's got a
Yeah.
damage
really good
wise.
self buff. Her nails add insane damage. Her skill 3 hits so hard. Her ult is a fucking. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
It's okay.
Her ult is. I was just like bleeped. I was just passionate. Her
It's
ult
okay.
is like great. Yeah, her ult's crazy. Like, I think she's SS.
So
Yeah, just put her in S.
I'm gonna put her. The reason I'm putting her SS too, maybe you'll understand. So I'm gonna read my note. So, and I could be wrong because no one answered me. And if you guys know in the comments or in the Discord groups or whatever, please, somebody please hack this game and find the damage calculator because the way super damage calculator I think is odd. It appears that each nail planted does 225% damage to every character with a nail count, and that goes up. And then I wrote that I think the calculator is broken because I think it's triple for every nail. So it's a maximum of 6 nails. And so that would break down that you would get a 675% boost for 3 nails at 225, but the effect up isn't written, so it's likely that it's tripling that, so it's somewhere in the 6,000% damage, which is why her super is crazy. But I don't have a true damage calculator for how much she does, and I don't have good numbers for testing. So if somebody in the community wants to go in and test who does the most damage, I think, and figure out the exact percentage up that effect of does. I'm going to talk about this again in this video because there's 2 other characters in this video who have the character does more damage when their attack goes up. We don't actually know what that percent is.
I know people were talking about the like percentages the other day, but I know it's you get more damage from buff nail ult than buff ult, and her buff is very high, right? I think it's like 40+%.
Yeah,
like you get more damage from using one buff and 6 nails rather than 3 buffs. So the nails do add a very big amount.
Yeah, and her super adds 3 nails anyway, so you only need to hit one time with her normal and then throw nails. So then you
or you just hit.
Or you just hit. Yeah, you don't even need
to.
to
Hit another enemy with 3 nails, hit one with 3 nails, and then focus one to do more damage, and then you still hit the other one.
Yeah, it just says that, the number of nails, and then the effect goes up. But it's very ambiguous to the amount that's going, and so I would love to hear more numbers and more like math talk. Get the big brain people coming out to give us like true numbers, because
we definitely need some like data miners.
Yeah.
Just something like that, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put her.
Also, we forgot to mention she has like built-in crit, right, as well.
She does have built-in crit. Yeah, she's just a really good character.
Yeah, SS. I kind of regret saying S.
No, you know, I mean, even S is good, but I just think SS because right now there's just no one that is doing that much single damage, and on team she's still useful. I mean, her and Gojo together are really good for some of the really, really hard content. And then I think R is completely useless.
I think B.
B?
Yeah. Because, I mean, that event, that blue event, it's... You face... Damn, I always forget the name of the events. It's one of the, like, level 95 ones. People were using Arnobra to clear it.
I think they were just doing that just to, like, show...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, right. I think they was just showing...
I haven't used her, so I can't... I don't know if she's really good.
Are you talking about versus the Cursed Armor, the Extreme 2 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of like, look what I can do.
Yeah. There is a potential cope use for her is, but like obviously we can't use the same 2 characters, but she can inflict nails.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a situation where if we can use 2 Nobaras, or we can use like a support Nobara from like your friend list, like you could set up the nails. Like I don't know, it's like there's like maybe, but maybe just for now I think C.
Yeah, I think it's speculation, so I'd also put C.
Yeah.
And also blue type, which blue is like the most OP type right now. So I just think
me looking at the next unit.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get hate for this.
No, I'm curious. So
I think I'm gonna agree with you.
Useless, completely useless, trash.
I don't.
Get him out. Trash.
So here's where I change. I think the R stays where it was on my list before. So I also had this character. This is what I had them. I had them as A, ain't bad before. I think that the starting. The problem for me is wolves. Like, you spend a turn buffing to get this wolf, and then you get hit, and then you lose the wolf that you buff for. And somehow this is worse in SSR because if you get hit once, Wolfie goes away. So somehow the rare version is better than the SSR version. And the stun is exactly the same. They both have stun. It's the same percent.
Should go in A+.
No. Crazy.
Listen,
it's stun. He has stun. He literally has stun. It's an
I'll
attack
elaborate
stun too.
after.
You're never
Rudy, go
going
ahead,
to use
go
him.
ahead.
You're never going to use him over Toge, but there is very big possibility there's content where you can't use the same character. Maybe you use Toge on one stage, you need to change your team, and you will need another stunner. And his stun percentage is actually higher than Toge. The only reason you don't use him is because his cost is 30, but he can still do the same thing that Toge can do.
Yeah,
The reason I do not like him is number one, his AOE hits like a complete pillow. His ult sucks. I think his normal attack sucks. Yes,
I'm
he
talking
has
about R.
stun. Oh, you're talking about the R. I mean, both are pretty, you know.
I think I think for me SSR.
SSR, I can say B.
If it's B, it's the
It's
bottom of
trash.
B. I mean, I think even Kiyotaka is going to see more use. I think this character is going to disappear, if not already has disappeared. I've never seen anyone use this character. I tried to make this character work. I think the stun
it's
is
just like-
decent. It has. I mean,
He's
He
just
just
like
doesn't
Megami
do
for real.
it.
he's not
Yeah,
useless.
he's-
Like you could make a stun team, I guess, but
If we can have an F tier, yeah, sure, I'll dump him in there, man.
He's just not it.
He's not it, bro.
not
He's
it.
like, this is him. He's a jack of all trades that could do everything, but masters none of it. Suck.
Yep.
If we're talking about like stun being useful, can we make a reason why we wouldn't put them in A plus over
How
Toge?
much
What
is-
makes
how-
what makes
what's-
our
what's-
Toge better than
Stun rate is
him?
so damn.
Because his defense gives special gauge.
Hmm
His
What's
defense buff gives
what's the
special.
cost of SSR Megami's stun?
It should be 20 if I'm not mistaken.
What's the percentage?
It's the same. It's off the top of my head, I think it's 70%. I want to say 60 or 70%. I'm checking right now.
I think it was lower than. I think it was like 40. Yeah, 60, 70. Sorry, 60, 70.
I'm checking right now because see, I don't even use
at the
him
top.
enough that I don't
He's at the top.
even write it down in my notes. Poor guy. Again, cool character, but 60%.
What I
Yeah,
said before,
stun
if
is
we ever get
60%.
a 60%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
If we-
Toge have like 100% on first turn?
That's like level 1 or level 2? Forgot.
It says level 2 for SR, and then it costs 30 though for his R. He's kind of like a little bit wobbly, like a little unbalanced of a character for
He does everything, but he's not proficient at it.
yeah.
Puts him out of place. It's like the odd child, man. Again, if we have a memory that increases the percentage of applying a debuff, easily, I'll bump him up to an A, man.
Yeah.
An ability, but if we don't
60
have that kind of memory, so I'm
60% and 20. And then the problem is it costs 30 for the R.
not- that's not-
And
But
his
the R has the highest percentage.
is R 70%? No, it's 60.
It's higher than Toge's.
Yeah, I mean they're the same. They're both
Wait, quick
60%.
question, Rudy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, from what I've seen, you might use him a lot, but from my personal experience and what I've seen, I have not seen team comps where Megumi is a must over Toge. I mean, I know that
I've
can't
seen
compare them 'cause
I've
Toge's
seen
way
no
better, but
team
I just
comps
think-
with him. I've seen zero
Yeah, I
team
just
comps
think
with him. To be
an A
to be
is
real.
way too high for how much
I wasn't gonna
he
put him
really
in
doesn't
A.
get.
I'm just trying to be fair. I'm playing devil's advocate right now. I actually think he's garbage, but
Yeah, me
he
too.
does have the stun. The problem is his stun cost is
It's
it's
30.
30 for the R, and then the SR version. It's I guess I could put him in B, but he doesn't have the defense buffs, and he's kind of squishy. So
Yeah.
Put them both in B.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a-
It's at a B, yeah.
I'll put him.
You
I
can't
gotta
put them
put-
in completely useless because they have the stun.
Yeah, they're
And
not.
We're
Yeah, I
not saying
guess.
he's complete garbage, but the fact that he has a stun, and when we do get the memory, as I said, that increased ability to put debuffs, his ranking will go up.
Yeah, Wolves. By the way, if you pull this is like a really good starting character for the game. Like if you're just starting off, because Wolves, you can do like 10k really easily in the beginning, and probably carry you till most of the game. But later on, he just gets completely phased out. And when he takes hit, he loses wolves, and he's got to spend an extra turn. He's just got like all these like if conditions. And even now we're talking about if we use him. We're not talking about use him, and he's just not used. So it could be a hot take from all of us, but I think we're all in agreement here that he's not getting.
Yeah, like I used him and then I just switched to toge.
Same. Yeah, I don't use him. I don't think he's garbage. I think he's got uses, but I think the SSR. I think it's the worst SSR, and I feel sorry if that's the SSR you pulled. You might want to re-roll real quick. All right, Yuji. Yuji, I think is S. Itadori Yuji is S.
I think he's the gatekeep to SS of S. I think he's at the top of S.
I'd agree with that.
Because he's just the best green right now. And you gotta give that value to him.
From my viewpoint where I stand, I just think there really isn't a boss that I can think of where I'm like, Yuji is a must run. But I can see why you think he's S, but for me, I'm putting him A. I know his ult does pretty good damage. I use him all the time.
I put him in S because of Kokusen.
He's got Black Flash.
Black Flash is you can't ignore it. It's a hidden value.
Super quick ult, high crits.
Remember, Black Flash is not calculated on the same stats. It's a completely different stat.
Yeah. Black Flash is very strong.
For me, when
and he gets 3 of them. He gets 3 Black Flashes.
But I just think with Yuji, I mean, yes, he's good, and on paper he's incredible. But I think his use and him being must run and everything like that, I just don't think it's there for S.
I don't think he's must run, but I think if you pull in green, he's the top of green. He's the green.
100%.
He's the green king. So
yeah,
we kind of have to put him in S almost because of that. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean,
he fills in the roles of green, taijutsu, and single target.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And single
just put him in
target,
S.
nothing can go compare to him below this list right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, besides Nobara.
You got to put him in A with Maki when Maki's doing way less damage.
Yeah,
I was gonna put him in A+.
Nah, I think he's S.
I don't think he's special use. He's on a lot of team compositions. I see him be used all the time still. And I'm not going to talk too much about composition, but don't forget with his brother, with Todo-san, he's even better. So he's one of the characters that really does feel like he was made to be played together with them, or behind Gojo Sensei. So turn order is going to matter for him, and he might. I think easily is a character that's going to get phased out. But currently, for green and the characters we have, he has to be at the top because someone's got to be the green king.
All right, that's fair.
It can be Nanami, man.
It definitely.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
So I would even put below Toge. I think Toge is not as is better than Yuji. But what do you think? I think Toge is better.
I would put him above just because the whole green thing, where he is just the best green right now. Black Flash is really strong, and I feel like Toge is more he really excels when you have other good characters.
Yeah, I mean he's got break damage, he's got really good skills, everything. So.
But I either way, I can see either.
I think the R, by the way, is at the bottom of B for Yuji. I don't think it's completely garbage. I think if you pull this character, I'd still stand by that. You could play this game with R Yuji. Does anyone?
I've never used him.
He's pretty solid.
I mean, unless you just want to throw him in useless, hey.
I'd say
do
B.
better.
He's got use.
I'd say useless because he's blue.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Dude, we have so many blues, man.
You're right.
Are you going to use him even over the free SR Maki?
Nah, I guess you're not. All right.
But what about the mindset of you're new to the game and you pull him?
I mean, the thing is, I guess I might actually agree. I that's how my mindset was, but this right now, Phantom Parade gives so many gems that you can at least do 3 pulls. If you're not getting an SR or anything that's above him in this list, you might want to just delete your account and just start over. Honestly,
Bro,
I
yeah,
just
like
you, I know that's messed up to say, but it's like
messed up.
if you're
I'm
going.
something else. It's messed up. Every single person in this game should have Gojo, and if you don't have Gojo, reroll. Like,
That-
You have to
I mean-
roll until you get them.
We have GSSR, bro.
Obviously, you're not going to be able to always have the guaranteed SSR, and you're not going to always have the crazy pulls. But I think there's always going to be better options. And now that I understand, because in my last video I was kind of vanilla to the whole reroll game. But I guess if you're already involved and you're watching this video and about tier list, then you should just re-roll and just get
Also-
anybody. Because the thing is, you get him for free. You get him for free. You don't even have to roll for this character. So, really,
Also, about like pulling a blue, just play the game for like 2 months and get Jogo. You struggle without a blue for a while and then just get Jogo.
yeah, I just think
Yeah.
I don't really use him, and I think in the beginning of the game you'll use him for a few minutes and then you won't again. But I've used Megumi a couple times,
Yeah.
so that's why I think that the use is a little bit more outlasting. But yeah, maybe top of completely useless.
Okay.
I still feel bad about it because it's like saying that the free character is complete. I guess I'll put him at the bottom of B.
He's got he's got value if you really want to force it.
Yeah, okay, I'll put the bottom of B. Like,
Alright.
just he's think of his bottom of B as the stinky butt. Like, you really should be
You
Playing
have
the
something better,
game?
but if you would want to use him, then you can.
if you're just but the thing is, if you're just playing the game, you're gonna pull other characters anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just. But
Yeah.
as far as free characters go, I guess sure.
Nanami.
Our boy R.I.P. Nanami.
That was sad.
My goat, my king.
He should've been
Unfortunately,
in Malaysia.
the
Yo, I
green.
saw that use this tweet. It was like,
Oh,
why is
yeah.
Mei in Malaysia, not Nanami?
I'm gonna say that the green is in A and the SR is in top of S. Top of S. SS.
SS.
Whoa, SS. Okay.
That's crazy. But I
Yeah,
can see.
okay. No. I wouldn't
This
know.
guy is crazy. Trust me.
Is there a reason for who said SS?
Me, Ludi. Like, he's obviously like he's the second best buffer in the game
Yeah.
after Yaga. We can all agree on that, right?
Yes.
He does like fall short to Yaga in terms of buff, but he can hit insanely hard and he can black flash. So you can actually add a lot of damage on top of your buffing. And because his buff is like the team-wide buff, it's like applying to his damage as well. So he
True.
actually hits really, really
He
hard.
does. He does hit hard. And it's
Question.
super good buff.
Yeah.
So what? Obviously, Nobra SS. You know, me personally, I had her S, but I don't really use her that much. But after
Yeah.
you explain, definitely SS. But I just feel like what you explain Nobra doing compared to what Nanami is doing, I just don't see him in SS. I definitely
Yes.
think S is definitely where he lands.
Can we just like I know I'm jumping ahead, but can we just jump to Yaga and then because I want to
Yeah.
base it off of Yaga, right?
Okay.
You mean Masamichi, right?
Yeah.
Sensei. Okay,
Principal
Masamichi Sensei,
sensei.
Yaga Sensei.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's the. Let's do that because
Because
we can't talk about. We can't not talk about buffers, and we might actually we probably should put Momo there too.
Yeah. Because I kind of these all kind of play off of each other in different ways.
Okay, I'm gonna say Masamichi Sensei is
SS.
SS.
He's SS.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say SS.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
He's
I
not
think-
the best SS, but I think he will make your team. You
He's
at
the
this
best
point.
buffer in the game.
Yeah,
It's not
if you're buffing, you need to pull for him. You need to.
I also think his alt and everything else is pretty solid as well. So
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got increased damage taken. He's got some stuff going for him.
Yeah, and then if I see, here's where it's hard for me because I really liked Momo. In fact, I had Momo right below this this is the order that I had. You can't see because of my head right now, but I had Nanami below that. And I think that this has shifted for me because the Momo's buff is 2 turns, but she does get the chance to dodge.
Yeah. See, this is my point. I think, like, I think you can put Momo below S because of her value as a buffer.
Mhm.
But I think Nanami is better than Momo.
Because he can
So I
attack
don't-
too.
100%.
Because he can
'Cause
attack
because
and hit hard.
He,
Yeah.
he does more buffs and he does damage.
Damage.
She also
So
stuns though with her super though, and she has a
Yeah.
stun. And like I've still been using her even for like
She's really good, especially like if you're doing like certain events where like you just need to do quick, like you can't set up a whole nuke. Like she
Also,
does, like,
her
a
buff is-
super buff.
her buff is technically stronger than Nanami's, right?
Well, if you do it once, yeah, but like
If you-
Nanami and Yaga can stack
it-
4 times.
Is it safe to say dodge is the strongest mechanic in the game? Because you can't
Strongest?
get hit. If you don't get hit, you don't take damage.
Like the thing is, okay, so it's funny because there's a video where literally Pyro-san's playing the first time through this thing, and Momo-chan saved his run because she just didn't get hit like 4 times in a row. Like it was the most insane thing to watch. She just was invincible, and she was buffing for. You only need 2 turns with her, and you're buffing.
Yeah.
So you have to. This goes back to the.
But-
Are you
but
making
you-
a team that's gonna 2-turn kill, or are you making a team that's gonna 4-turn kill? And yes, being able to buff 4 turns and then unleash is better. But there might be battles where you might not have the opportunity to get to that turn 4. You might have to do some other sneaky stuff in between, and that's where Momo might come back into the play. And I think
But
does
also-
come back.
Also, to stack her buff twice, the character needs to not have an attacking skill because
She
it's
does not
it's for
work
2
over-
it's 2 turns 1 time. So
Yeah.
like they need their own buff. So you like Momo buff on the nuke, Momo buff, and then nuke. Does that make sense? So like
Yeah,
she doesn't work with every character as well.
she doesn't.
Whereas it's
She
like
doesn't.
Yaga and Nanami, you're just always getting their buff, and it's lasting for 4 turns.
I think I have run into a lot where it's like, oh, if I only had an extra turn that the buff was lasting. 4 turns buff is really can't be explained. And by the way, the way buffing, I should probably explain this with this. So buffing is you do a 4-turn buff. If you do the order, so you put the buffers in the front lane so that they'll buff everyone that turn. So that's turn 1, and then they have 3 remaining turns where you the buff. So the problem with everyone's talking about the Momo is that you would buff once, and that's the turn, and she only buffs herself 1 turn. And then the other 3 characters get buffed for 2 turns, and then the next turn comes, and that's their last turn. So, yeah, I think if we're just comparing buffers, then yeah, Nanami has to be. It's so
I think he
hard.
has to be SS because
I think so.
another thing is obviously like other than his damage being able to Black Flash, he synergizes so well with the principal because the principal's giving like attack buff like Jujutsu and Taijutsu buff, and Nanami's giving like a straight damage buff, and they're both stacking for 4 turns. So the synergy there is.
I'd agree.
Crazy.
I think you guys have convinced me finally that this is the dream team, the red team of death is what I call them.
Like any team is just them 2 plus someone else
Yeah.
plus Gojo, and it just like.
I think so.
That's fair.
And like I said, like he hits really hard. He can Black Flash on his ult.
Since
which
we're
the
skipping
SSR
ahead
and-
though, I want to put
Yeah.
Momo in S though,
I agree with her in this.
because I don't think she gets
Yeah.
replaced, especially because we've seen there's a lot of like there might be content where you can't use a character multiple times, or she might fit on another team. So I don't think she's useless. I think that if there is a team that you're making that can use that can explode in 2 turns, then having her buff is stronger than Nanami's technically. But I think what we're seeing is a lot of these in the end game content, the extreme battles, the harder content. Usually the battles might go beyond 4 turns, and probably will go well beyond that. So I think she kind of doesn't see as much use there. So she's not quite as OP. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure.
Where would we put the SSR going back to Nanami then?
Yes.
S?
I want to put him in S, but the only reason I want to put him in A is because his ult can't Black Flash. Now, if his ult could Black Flash, we having a different conversation.
But
And I
without the
think-
Black Flash, his ult still does a lot of damage.
It does, but the problem with him is he's built for longer content. Like you don't get his overtime until turn 9, and
This
Yeah,
man
we
becomes
definitely do
S
not.
tier on
we
turn
need
9.
longer content.
Well, let's say we do have longer content, like magically tomorrow is CS.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think he's A for now.
He's
like top of A.
He's top of A plus, bro.
He's top of A.
Turn 9, he becomes S.
True, I can see an argument for A plus because like he's got that like that
I
uniqueness
think A
of like
plus. I mean, are we really putting him in the same tier as Maki
nah.
and Junpei and shit?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
sorry.
I can
You can say shit.
Okay, I was, you know what I mean? I just,
yeah, it's fine.
Maki and shit.
So are we saying S then?
A plus.
A
A
plus?
plus. I think A plus.
The top of A plus.
Top of A plus? I think so.
He hits really hard.
Gojo
This guy
Sensei.
C? Is he C?
I don't
He's
know about
F.
this guy.
Gojo Sensei, I think is.
I think we need a new tier above.
Yeah, we need a new tier. He's
You-
just.
It's it's funny because they did a vote on the Japanese servers, and people said that Nobara is better, but
That's
the server still, the people on the server and on Game 8 site still put Gojo Sensei on the top, even though the community vote
Yeah, like
completely outweighed.
like we ain't hearing that.
I wish
I just
the
don't
rankings.
see
I
an
wonder if it's still
argument.
up.
I don't see an argument.
I think it's just because of the single damage, and they're probably thinking that a lot of fights. But we've seen that a lot of the endgame fights, it's not just one single target character, and so for that reason, I think this character is better. I do think that this character is the best character.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
think
even
it's.
think there's.
I
a
don't think it's like an
discussion.
argument. I think it's
Yeah,
just.
he's
he is the
just.
best,
He's
yeah.
king. He's king.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think just from top of SS.
All right, the king has been
I-
decided. Yeah.
We don't need to discuss. We know.
Mechamaru, is my opinion, can avoid stuns, can avoid a lot of things, can also strangely avoid healing from his own allies. Again, for some reason, something called Mechamaru doesn't hit like steel or any kind of material, and as much as this is my favorite character, I have to put in
Ooh, wow.
B.
I think right now he is C.
C? I'd accept C as well.
I think he's B. There's.
He's-
Okay.
yeah,
If
he's
you
B.
don't have Yuji or Nanami and you need a green, he's your next guy.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Where would you put him? Below?
Next to Rin.
Next to Rin? I think
Next
that's
to Rin,
fair.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I think
Yeah,
having
that's good.
the cool thing is he has an all attack. So like sometimes if there's like really quick content, you can just do a turn of buffs and then all attack, and usually it kills everybody, especially if they're weak to green. So there's not like too many characters in this game right now that have like all attacks, but I am putting like a little bit more weight on that because part of me wishes that we had more all attack characters. I think once we start getting that, I think the meta will shift a lot, especially if they hit harder. But like, yeah, that's keeping them around.
Yeah, it's
for
mainly
me.
on ults you see like AoE.
All right. Where are we putting her?
I'm putting her personally in A.
I'm gonna say A as well.
I actually
Wow.
like this girl with Todo.
She can do some cool stuff. She's got like self taunt with like counters and dodge. Like you in a lot of situations, like there's like one enemy you can just like stall it out. Like you can just like keep using her dodge. Like I've done it a few times. Like I actually think she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
I put Miwa-chan in completely useless before, but you guys are changing my mind a little bit now. So you think she's got use?
Yeah. So
she's
because
very
so her I think it's her skill 2. Like it puts a taunt on herself for 2
Mhm.
turns, and then she gets like evasion for 1 turn. So like she'll just draw aggro and then just dodge all the damage.
So you don't even do the counter then.
Yeah, I don't really use the counter. I just use the dodge, like the
Mhm.
the taunt and dodge.
The counter is pretty useful in some
Yeah.
situations.
And I think she does okay damage, like not great, not.
Yeah, her
awful.
ult, it really isn't that bad.
So you think she's the where would she be on A then? Or she? I don't think she's
below
B.
Maki. Below Maki.
Yeah,
Below
below Maki,
Okay.
above Shoko. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'll agree. Yeah, I had about the same notes, but I talked more about the counter. I didn't realize her dodge was that useful. People were using her.
You know the crab boss
Mhm.
on the last
on the
last wave
on the
yeah.
the survey area. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think before, like I actually won the run because he couldn't hit her. Because he doesn't always attack every turn, right? He does like off turns,
Right.
like where he'll like buff himself, like so he couldn't hit her. So she just kept
That's funny.
taunting and dodging, and then my other characters like.
She only gets one dodge though, right?
Yeah, but like because he
It's
only
for
hits
20.
once.
It's 20 energy for one dodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
The counter was good too. You know what I mean?
I guess when you say that actually makes her better than Junpei then. Like when you were speaking about that makes a lot of sense. So she literally does what Junpei does, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't get attacked, it's 2 turns, right? So it doesn't go away.
Yeah. It lasts until she gets for 2 turns until she gets hit.
Okay. So if she doesn't get hit, then you basically get a free turn to attack with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting. I think Mai has good. I still think where did I put? I don't even know where I put her on my tier list last time.
A.
An A. Yeah.
You put it. Yeah.
I still think A.
I haven't used her. I've heard like I feel like I saw someone say she's good, but I don't know.
I'm gonna say I'm thinking A or B, but it's like hard.
She's got stun. She's got stun on her level 3.
Can't she give herself like hide? Like
I think A.
Is it hide or is it a buff?
Like, I think she can make it so like she can't be hit, like she can't be targeted. Yeah, like has yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say A.
Ooh, I would definitely keep her at A tier. And yeah, she has a. I thought this has stun.
Yeah, she got a stun.
Yes, she does have a stun. So, it's a 30% stun. It's not that high.
You're not going to be relying on it.
I still use her, but sparingly. But she does get used. So I think for that reason, yeah, I might even put her.
I think
Above
she's
Miwa?
in
Below
between
Miwa?
Toge and Shoko.
Toge?
Or
Like-
yeah, the SR one.
Like above, yeah, below Shoko.
Below
Above
Shoke?
Toge.
Okay, I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that's a good choice. That's about what she didn't really move in my placement. That's about where I had her before. So if you look at this, so I think we're pretty much the same. I just cooled on a lot of characters. And one of the characters I'm not sure if I've cooled or gone up on is Noritoshi-san. So Noritoshi-san, he again can do an all attack, but it's random. So he actually does better against single enemies, and he has a 60% stun. So he's definitely not useless.
I think he's B for sure.
His arrows are weak. He does pretty bad damage. I don't really understand why. I don't know what it is about like the Kyoto people. Like, is Kyoto just so peaceful and that they're just
canon.
like everyone?
It's canon.
They're just soft.
You got Todo, and then the rest are just.
Yeah, it's Toto, and then everyone else is just like they're just soft. They're just.
mechamaru is alright.
I would put him at the top of
I'd say
B.
the top of B. Yeah, sure.
Because I think he gets more use than Panda.
He's got a stun.
He's got a stun. I want to even put him higher because I think it's a group stun.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Let me check.
I haven't used them in them. Man.
Yeah, I've tried them one time only, and I'm to like 40, 50. That's it. I like him.
No, it's okay. Well, it's one enemy, 60% chance to stun.
10. The 10.
For 10,
good.
which is
Yeah.
pretty good. Like I kind of want to put this character like a little bit higher.
You really think he's A? Yeah.
I think it's like the
it doesn't
bottom of
matter.
A.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine.
aoitodo. SR
I
and
think
SS.
Never
he's
used-
A.
I've
I
never used
think
SR
he's
Toge.
A.
He's A.
The SSR one I think is A plus, and the SR one is A. That's
I
just
think
my-
so.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think this is a character you can't ignore what they do. So
He's
like,
solid. He's very good.
if you put him first, he just buffs everybody. So it's like,
He's very good.
Especially if you're protecting like a squishy or support. Like
Mhm.
you can do a scenario where you put Todo in front of Yuta
mhm.
or Miwa, right?
Yeah.
I like it with Yuta because Yuta's got his own counters as well.
Dude, like my Yuta, this man saved my Yuta so many times, man. Yuta's like 30 HP. He claps twice, recall counters, and then I finished the stage. I'm like, what the fuck, this guy did?
All right, A plus.
I
Or
agree
S?
with it.
Yeah,
Also,
Toto's
he-
good.
For me, he's in the top A+.
I think he's top above Nanami.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I think that
He also-
the issue I had with him is he doesn't really hit as hard as the SR.
The thing is,
He's there to defend him.
he has increased damage taken on the enemy as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I think when he counters, he applies it, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And he can black flash as well on
Mhm.
his ult and his. I think his skill 3 as well can black flash. No, I don't know about his skill 3, but I know his ult can black flash. I think he's top of A plus.
I think so too. Yeah, I wouldn't put him in S because he's not like. Maybe he is at the bottom of S. I don't know. You could go either or for that. You
Yeah.
really could. I might even put him at top S, but
I personally, I would put him bottom of S, but
I'll put him bottom of S.
the way we do these, it's like A+.
It's a-
He'll easily.
Okay, I'll put him in S just because I think the next time I do this tier list with everyone, I think he's going to be down. I think there's going to be some other red characters that
Yeah.
just push him out. As far as like if you're looking at someone who's extremely useful, a lot of damage, he's already kind of getting replaced, but you can make him work on teams.
Yeah.
Where do we put the SR though? Because the SR definitely gets
A.
used.
I
A.
think in that like Junpei area for sure. The SSR one, like around the panda.
I think
Junpei,
for a
Toge.
yellow, this is one of the strongest yellows in the game. I think he's even
Yeah.
stronger than.
Is he stronger than Mai?
Yeah, he's good. Like I use him all the time for like the dungeon whenever it's orange.
He's
Maybe
definitely
above
stronger
Miwa.
than Mai.
Maybe the top end of A, above Miwa.
Yeah, he's stronger than Mai, and he hits single damage. He hits harder than Maki. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
he can also self buff too. Like he's a really good choice.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm good with that.
All right, and then I think I'm comfortable with that too. And so
Yeah.
now we're coming to
The big boys.
These are like the
Pink girl.
4 hardest
Pink girl.
ones.
Geto-san. So
Yeah.
you're welcome. I'm also gonna put a link, just something. I won't put a link, but maybe in the on YouTube you guys do the like 2 videos on the side of the worst poll in history. I did like 10 polls. No, I think we did like an overall. I did like 12 polls. Didn't get Geto, and I don't regret it. I'm really glad I finally got him on like the 13th poll.
Oh, I'm happy you got him.
Yeah.
Because I think this character is the top of
He's
S,
crazy.
if not SS. And
I put them in SS.
the
This guy is
reason
crazy.
the reason why is because of the ramp, and I'll let everyone else. We might all have the same opinion on this, but
We can go one by one.
All right, I'll start off first, and I kind of think just from the server, I feel like me and Ludi are the biggest defenders of this guy because a lot of people do not know how to use him because they just play auto, which is fine. You know what I mean? He's kind of a complicated character, but I'm putting him in SS for just how crazy he makes Gojo. Like he makes Gojo just 1.5 times better than everyone else. And until we get events where they cancel debuff like as the norm, then I think he's SS until then.
Yeah, I see a lot of the criticism that he gets, and I do agree with it. But from my personal testing, I have found him better than another buffer for Gojo. For example, I was doing Extreme 2 Jogo last night. I tried Yaga and Nanami plus Toge and Gojo, right? Wasn't doing enough damage. I switched out Nanami for Geto, and I did enough damage. And I think the reason is when you're stacking so many buffs, you're getting diminishing returns, right? It's like a very common thing in game, right? You get so many buffs. The more buffs you get, eventually it hits a point where it's not going to be as valuable, right? But because Geto is doing a debuff, it just stacks really nicely, and it just means more damage. So I'm going to agree with SS.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And he actually can do really good damage himself.
And his ult, let's not forget. I mean, like you said, he does really good damage. His ult can hit stupid hard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
I
ultimate
have a
is
dupe in
crazy.
him as well, and he hits really hard. Like, I think, like, in the same situation, my Gojo would do like just over 2 point something million, like 2.2 million. And I think Geto was hitting like 1.7. And I think
Like, that's
pretty good.
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's more
Like-
than like Yuta in most situations.
Like, if you have max cursed energy, he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's insane. Pyrosan was explaining that to me too, and then I tested it, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. This character is a little bit difficult to use. I think it is a little bit more. Yeah, you can't auto battle this character. You have to do.
I think he's the bottom of SS, just because like he's not as like I think like you're like as a general player you're probably going to use like the other buffers like Nanami and Yaga more. But I think in like certain setups, especially with Gojo, I think Geto is like invaluable. I think he's really good. But then he has the problem of they could just easily make everything immune to debuffs and he becomes useless.
Yeah,
So
they haven't
Yeah.
yet though, but I do agree.
They
I
haven't.
think if you have a battle that goes more than 4 turns, oh my gosh, this character is absolute. I would say almost necessary for
He's really
really being able to clear the final content.
he's really good. Like I said, he made me be able to clear Jogo EX2 with a 0 dupe Gojo.
Now, my question is, making bosses just immune to debuffs. I feel like if they keep adding that into a bunch of units kits in the future, I don't think they're gonna do that because at that
Yeah.
point, what's the point? I
They
mean,
got like so many.
I get
I
it.
don't know.
All right, so Pyrosan.
So, yeah, I was just waiting for you guys to wrap it up. So,
and we were yapping.
Who are you yapping? It's my boy.
dude,
I have
I
to
will
defend
I
him.
will shatter both of your S's for one reason, bro. This man, he takes a long time to set up, bro. It's not
Interesting.
easy, man. I agree. That big damage, 110, man, 110 curse energy,
Mhm.
really strong. But
But you're counterpoint. You're laying on his own damage, but I think
Yeah.
most of his SS value is just him debuffing for Gojo.
Yep, 100%.
no, no, exactly. Like for me, as a soul debuffer, I cannot put him on SS, man. I'll be honest with you guys. He sits on the top of S tier for me, man.
Hmm.
He, after playing so many accounts, constantly running him, his damage output is below Gojo, Yuta, Nobara, Yuta, and then him. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do. He needs the battery, bro. Having a battery on your team takes a buffer slot.
I
know
think
that,
that's
right?
incorrect.
So no, listen, bro. You need this is the new thing. 2 buffers, a battery. If you're gonna run Geto and Yuta, man, those 2 hungry motherfuckers, they take so much curse energy, man. It's not even funny, man.
So, to my
Like
defense
turn
on
3,
him,
turn 4, you're out of curse energy, man.
Mhm. So
If you don't
I
have a
have
battery.
him 2 dupes, so I have the extra 10 curse energy,
That's fine,
especially
but
with
free-to-play,
how with
normal players are not gonna have 2 dupes, bro. Think
I
about
get it, that's fair, but I feel like we gotta rank units on their max potential because eventually,
Yeah.
how long the game is gonna go on, you're probably gonna have Geto 5 dupe.
Yeah,
in the
you
future.
you do have to look at the top, but it could go either. It sounds like it could go either one. It could be the bottom of double S or the top of S.
But that's still good. Let's not,
It's still good.
I
That's
just
so
think, I mean, everyone brought up an important point, which is the more the battle goes on, the better this character gets. And there are some things where the battle goes on. I think, and not just for the extreme battles, but a lot of time in events they have the challenge one where you have to get like a certain amount of points. Without Geto-san right now, I'm not sure you could get to 10 million score.
You can. I think there's one.
Yeah, you
I think
can.
because you. I think one of the bits you can't debuff, which is why he's not as
You-
useful.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. After the he comes back
When
up.
he, when he comes back up, yeah, you can't
Yeah.
debuff him.
You can only. So here's the
Oh,
trick:
see?
you gotta debuff the
Mm.
guy before he goes down. When he goes down, he goes at three turn phase. He should have the debuff, and then you ult right then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even
So-
then, talking about when he comes back can't be debuffed is that's
That's
silly. Mm.
Yeah. And again, remember his debuff is reducing taijutsu damage and only increasing jujutsu. This doesn't even increase taijutsu, man.
Well, yeah, but
Oh.
Jujutsu is the strongest thing right now.
I know, but again, like,
I'd actually like to make a point about
Jutsuki is very strong, and that's what everyone relies on. But yeah, I would put.
I'd like to make the point his taijutsu damage down could be a very underlooked part of his kit because it's a lot. And if he's stacking it up, and if you're facing a boss that does like taijutsu damage, and he's reducing that a lot, it could really help your team's survivability.
yeah, for sure.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
I'm gonna agree to the top of S. I think me and Fubuki are not biased, but we have dupes into Geto, so maybe we're like
See, I
We'll
don't.
see.
I don't have a
one
dupe.
Geto too, but it's not as like two dupes as Geto, but one dupe.
Yeah.
I've seen the damage of it.
yeah,
I've
like
tested-
mine's one dupe and he does like insane damage. But I can see like as a person who just starts, pulls Geto, doesn't
Yeah,
get any dupes. Like I can see him
majority
like
That's me. I just have one Getos, and I was happy. And
Majority of players are using a one.
yeah, it's so we're
extra
comparing
10 Cs.
maximum potential. I guess the fair thing to do is look at characters when they're not duped, just on their own. If everyone's just getting one pull,
Yeah, that's fair.
then yeah, because you could say any character can be really good when you get 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think top of S. I think I might have
Top
to
of
agree
S.
because
I
I'm
could easily see-
a Geto defender as well. I think this
Yeah.
character is insane.
Yeah.
I think this character is not going to go away. I think this character actually may go up in tier.
Yeah.
So, but I think to be cool, because I usually tend to be too nice.
As soon as we get a
Yes.
buffer that can also regen cursed energy for the team,
Oh yeah, it's
it's
done.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's valuable.
All right, everyone's favorite character, Yuta.
Go.
I am probably the only one here who did not pull Yuta, so I had to converse with my friends, watch lots of streams. I know Yuta's level 3 is really good. It does a lot of damage. You pretty much just want to have level 3 with him. There's like a test battle, though, so you can kind of see what the character can do, and the ultimate seems really good. Can pretty much wipe, I don't know. I'm going to let everyone else kind of say their opinion. Just off the top, I probably would say maybe S, like somewhere either above or below Geto. I can't. That's kind of the conversation right now.
My conversation is he's below Gojo, above Nobara.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
I think the
I can
longevity of this character is insane.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Damn.
He's got so much going for him. He's got they balanced it by him not having the self buff, but he has the highest raw multiplier in his ult in the game. It's like 1,999, right? It's like insane.
Whoa.
He's got Black Flash on his skill 1 and 3. His skill 3 hits really hard. It's dual
Wait, Yuta
scaling.
has Black Flash?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah. Skill 3.
Oh, gross.
skill 1 and 3 can Black Flash.
These one.
What do
He's
I
got
do?
his instant. You don't really see it much, but he's got his instant kill mechanic
Mhm.
on his skill 2. He's got the healing for all allies.
You know what? I have to put him on here because I see everybody use him. It makes me want to actually just save up to pull for him.
I'm the Geto defender, right?
Uh-huh.
I defend Geto, but I think Yuta's a better character than Geto.
Yeah, I don't think there's a debate with that for sure.
So in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle there. I could see it in the future he becomes better even than Gojo.
Ooh, damn. Okay.
Really?
His ult hits so hard. His once you start getting his heal, it gives him perma buff. He gets a buff, it's perma, right? And after his ult, he gets a perma buff. I think you can get 30% from his heal. I think it's 10% each time. And then I don't remember how much his ult gives, but he's getting permanent taijutsu and jujutsu buffs. And then because his third skill was hitting with both. It's like dual scaling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just scales the damage so high.
Wow.
And I was talking about this the other day with some people in chat about we don't think every character has the same Black Flash chance. Obviously, some like
No.
Yuji can increase his
I
own
agree.
chance. Right?
I don't think they do.
Yuta Black Flashes so much. Like I swear he is always Black Flashing.
Yeah. Again, being able, if someone's able to look up what the effect is, because actually, not to go back, but Geto-san also has the ability where his ultimate, it says the more curse energy that you have, the more the effect goes up, and it seems to be go up by quite a lot of percent for every 10 energy you have above 40.
I actually know the numbers.
You know the numbers.
Yeah, so for every 1 cursed energy, he has a 5.5% damage bonus increase on his ult.
Wow.
His cursed energy cap is 110.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So you're talking like 550%, right?
Wow.
That's
That's a lot. That is a lot of damage. But I don't know the Black Flash numbers, and so Black Flash right now, and this is discussed in the JP Discord. We don't know the percentage for Black Flash. It's a hidden value in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone can unhide that value, if someone can bring it to light, I agree 100%. I think that there is a different percent chance for characters to hit Black Flash.
Nanami and Yuji seem to hit it the most, which makes sense because in lore they both tie the record for it, the most consecutive. I think Yuta hits it quite a lot. Todo hits it decent amount. Nobara hits it kind of decent, and then Gojo you never see it because you don't really use his skill that can hit it that much.
All right.
And I think that's everyone we have that can do it. But also, another point on the Black Flash, we was talking about this in the chat earlier. It's a little off topic, but it seems every character has a different crit damage value. So this could change in the future, like where characters are, but it seems each character's crits do different amounts of increase. But we have to see, like, that could like change a lot in the future.
And where do we feel? Do we feel happy with this list? Do we feel any changes? Anyone before we put in the 2 kind of questionable metal exchange characters?
This is like these are the hardest ones. But
yeah.
I think I agree with where everything is.
Yeah. So for
honestly, can we? I kind of want to move Todo down.
Okay.
Because like I'm just looking at like the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have like dupes in Todo, and like I don't use them as much.
I
as these
agree.
other characters.
You're right. I would say top of A+. Now, so here's before we go to the Joe Goat, I think Hanami is actually better on paper than Jogo because
I don't know, man. Like
AoE is 460%. Level 2 does 210 damage for 210% damage. Starts with what, 50 curse energy? And heals 13% health every turn, guaranteed.
I think both of these characters fall into a category of like they're just kind of doing similar stuff to other characters that you have that are just better.
I mean,
like,
they're
Hanami,
still gonna hit hard though. They're still
like Hanami is just like not as good as Yuta, and just well from what we can tell.
Yeah.
And like Jogo is just not as good as Gojo, so it's like, but they both have like very valuable stuff.
Yeah. The domain
like,
skills.
The
were
domains are
unbelievable.
like very interesting. We'll have to see how it works when we have it.
I put them before I put Hanami a little bit more, just because on paper, the overall value. But the Jogo, he is the GOAT, so it could go up. But I'd be willing to like be calm down and just say, both of these characters are S right now in theory.
I think Jogo is going to be very good, honestly.
Yeah, he's got like crit rate increase. He like after you ult, he gets like 60 cursed energy or something. Like he looks very nice. Like I saw someone make an argument for he's gonna be really good for like back to auto, but like he's gonna be really good for auto.
Yeah. All right. Well, just because of the main, Joe Goat's at the at the bottom of SS plus. He's the GOAT, and
Joe Goat the strongest curse.
I'll put Hanami at.
No. Put Geto above Hanami, I think.
Okay, fair enough. All right. I think
That
that's
looks pretty
fair.
good.
That's a little
That
bit
looks
better.
pretty good.
Again, I'm still more of a, just want to clarify, I'm personally more of a Hanami fan. I think this character is going to shine more than Jogo, but yeah, if you make a team where you give yourself energy that is true and get the domain, you're going to get more turns than Hanami would, but
I'm also just picking Jogo because it's Jogo.
it's Jogo. Yeah, I know, everyone is. That's what everyone always says is the Jogo.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I'm fine with this, though, because technically I don't have this character this time. I only know one person that paid money to get this character, so
What?
How'd you do that?
Somebody has it already?
uh
Is it,
yeah, the
So it's
one
like JP.
JP person, apparently two people
Was it
have
worth
that.
it?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
How'd you get that?
Or
though?
they hacked or something. I don't know.
It's
have
got to
a-
be impossible because I
yeah.
think
I
obviously
don't
it's like-
just but I will call, I do call a little sus on it because just so people understand, I'm a little bit away from, I don't know where everyone else's coins are, but I have
I'm like
670 coins. You're 980.
I'm at like 950. Yeah.
Wow.
I think day one players who cleared very hard.
See, I was a little scared in the beginning.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I did. I think within a week I was doing very hard consistently.
oh, interesting.
I'm getting very lucky on like the dungeon chest.
Yeah,
Like
I've been
I
getting
usually
pretty unlucky.
always
Like I've been really unlucky, and I'm at 950. I know.
That's pretty good.
I know,
It's
like
really good.
the luckier ones are kind of like they're about to hit 1K.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
that
think
might be cap. That might be cap from that player, but apparently there's two people that have it. Now maybe they just were really lucky and they went through the dungeon and they got the medals, but just on paper, the majority of people haven't played these characters, so just don't take too much and just keep the meme alive, the Jogo.
The early players should have them by the next tier list because I think we're like 2 events away, maybe.
Yeah, I would probably say in like
I'd say 3.
two-
I'd say 3.
We're like I think
2-3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
2,
we'll
3
probably
weeks.
have
Really?
the characters. Yeah.
But you got to do like the math, right? Like we had the game for 5 weeks. We're at like 1K now.
Oh yeah. But you got to think
we
those
sorry?
And you got to think
events.
the events gave a lot, so but we only got to get 500. We got to get half of what we've got in that time. Does that make sense? So I think 3 weeks is a good estimate.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
The real
well,
question is, oh sorry.
No, I was gonna say, go
You
ahead.
can edit that out. Just you can finish.
What's the no? You
No.
got to tell me what the real question is.
Oh, the real question was I was gonna say, do you think they're gonna add like, well, everyone buys like Jogo or Hanami, they just drop Mahito and he's just better in the shop, and then you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You
Well, I
think
think
so?
we will.
Oh, I'm not spending my coins.
I think the obvious thing is we're going to get Mahito and Dagon, and they're just going to be the other 2 types, right?
That's scary to think about.
Dude, with this game, since there's so many unknowns, and you know, if when a new unit comes out, this memory might be good or whatever, right? It's always better to hold your resources, never spend them, or just whatever, just because you have it. Save.
I'm still going to pick Jogo.
It's up to you if you really want to, but it's always
Yeah.
safer to just save.
It's just
Yeah.
because it's Jogo.
I think I might do an equipment tier list next week. I just want to do it after this next event's coming because we don't know what's coming with it. So,
Oh yeah.
and there's just so many memories that are coming out. I think I might, if everyone's down. I think this is a pretty good group. We have some different opinions, but we seem to come together collectively. I think we both put an insane amount of hours into this game combined. It makes me a little bit sick. It's disturbing to think about, but yeah. So I think in 3 weeks' time we'll have a better, we'll have the 2 extra characters. But the next time, there's been so many banners that it's very likely there could be another tier list by the end of January.
Yeah.
So
and I think a lot is going to change because I think the next character we'll get is probably going to be some crazy green character that's going to like make Yuji pretty useless. He's going to drop down, like we're going to get like Mahito and he's like OP. I don't know.
Interesting, man.
I definitely think we're getting the green next because we've got every other type release.
I hope so. I really actually want more green. It's kind of sad. More green and,
We had Junpei,
maybe a
we had
yellow.
Junpei- Yeah, we had Junpei for yellow, and then we had a red and a blue with Yuta and Geto. So hopefully it's green next. But yeah.
All right.
Pretty good tier list.
It is. I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like
Yeah.
it's good too because like it rounds each other's out. I think I was a little bit. I think this was a little bit too. I was too happy. I was too happy with the game, and this one's a
I
little
think it's
bit
good.
more rounded. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to making more of these lists. I appreciate everyone who's watching YouTube, everyone's support and nice comments. It's nice to have other players who are all stronger players than me, kind of round it out
Oh, come on.
and keep me in line with trying to put characters too high on the list or too low. So I'm really happy. This was awesome. This is a really cool list. And I'll put,
Thanks for letting us join. It was good fun.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
put
for sure. Thank you.
I'll put Fubuki-san. Do you have anywhere people can find you?
I do not, honestly. I mean, maybe I should start, but I don't know. Just
Do you have a Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want
I
to plug?
have a Twitter, but I just like look at it. I don't
Okay,
post. I
okay.
don't like do anything. You know what I mean? So
All right, it might be
nothing really on my side.
okay. Well, we'll definitely have Fubuki-san back again. Ludi-san, is it Luddy or is it Ludi-san? How do you pronounce
It's
it?
Ludi.
Ludi. Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
I don't have anything, but if you join the Discord, hit me up.
yeah.
Just hit me with a
Ludi-san.
Jogo gif, the strongest curse.
Pyro-san, did you have anything you want to plug?
No, people can find me in any gacha game, honestly.
Yeah.
Just look for my name.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube, by the way, and like this guy runs like every gacha game ever. I'm just like I'm still coming from the fighting game, retro game hemisphere. So I've never gone quite this hard. So it's really cool to see other people go just wailing or just going extreme levels. So
Yeah, and also like shout outs to everyone in the Discord because I learned a lot from I learned a lot from a lot of people there.
Mhm.
Like they still help me like every day. Like it's like if you like want like help with the game, just join. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of cool
the links will
people.
be put everywhere.
It's good to have a lot of different opinions. And I feel like this. I'll post this tier list pretty soon because I feel like this is a little bit more. It'll help you if you're figuring out who you should pull for, and then also like maybe what characters you should put time into. And if there was anything I didn't explain, the character descriptions didn't explain from the last video, so you can go back and you can watch the last tier list where I talk about what makes those characters good. But I definitely feel like this is way more definitive. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm happy everyone could join me today. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, I am going to stop the stream, and I'll be back in a little bit. And thank you all.
See ya.
Thank you, man.
Peace.